Would you like to add irrigation to your hanging baskets? Stay tuned as we show you how easy it is to do it. Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny, and today we are going to show you how easy it is to add irrigation to your hanging baskets. I know personally I struggled for many years on keeping my hanging baskets well watered throughout the entire growing season. It was a real problem for me, especially when I had these big, huge, beautiful petunia hanging baskets, because it seems like here, when you get into July and August, you just cannot keep these baskets watered enough. I tell people one of the greatest things that Jerry did for me was to install this drip irrigation on our hanging baskets. Our house across the front has 4 beautiful hanging baskets, and what's the beautiful thing about these this irrigation system is that you can't even tell that they're on drip irrigation. It's super simple to do, and we're going to show you exactly how to do it. So come on and let's go see how easy it is. Here we are right off of our front porch. This is in the bed that has the tea olives and the hortsman. So it gives you an idea of where we are. Now, again, this is super simple to do, guys. We're going to start right here. On this wall is where all the irrigation piping is kind of hidden. We went with, because our color of our house is, the trim is white, Jerry went ahead and chose a white irrigation pipe. This is 1/2-inch tubing. It's a solid tubing that we're going to kind of work in reverse. Okay, so this part goes up to the top of the house. There's an elbow, and then it goes across to the front porch. But let's go back in reverse, right? So the tubing comes down. The white, we have a pressure regulator on here. Because we only have 4 drippers on this system, we don't want it to really just shoot out. So we do have a pressure regulator on here. And then the black tubing, you will see that is a filter, just to kind of help clean out any kind of gunk that may be in there. So the pressure regulator and the filter are kind of one of those key little components that you want to have on your hanging basket irrigation system. And then down there at the bottom, it's just a green, it's like a 10-foot long standard hose that you can get, at your local big box store. So we have it hidden, actually. It's not buried, it's just underneath the mulch that wraps around, and then it comes right over here to the spigot, the hose pipe. If you're in the South, you call it a hose pipe or a spigot, the water faucet, right? So here we have just the regular water faucet. This is the green hose that's coming up. Now, on here is our, hopefully we're not gonna get a summer thunderstorm real quick. This is a fantastic battery operated timer. You can get it from, your different landscape supply stores, your big box stores. We're gonna link all of these things down in the video description below. So if you'll just hit the little button, the little down button, the whole video description will come down, and we will have links for this. We love this timer because, like I said, it's operated on batteries. You can have up to 4 different settings. You can choose which day of the week you want it, how often, how long. Super user friendly. So your spigot is turned on, it goes to the timer, so when the timer clicks on, it will allow the water to go through. Goes all the way through, comes back up. We do have, if you're wondering what this black pipe is right here, we did have some of our baskets, pots, containers on the front porch on drip irrigation, but now that we have aqua pots, we don't need it. So this has been disconnected. So our white 1/2-inch pipe goes up this wall, and then it will hit a T, and then it rides along the length lip of inside of our porch. So let's go hop on the porch and go look at that. The beautiful thing about this irrigation system is that when Jerry was able to install it, you can tuck it up on the eaves inside lip of your front porch. So that way it basically disappears. Now, what I have in my hand is obviously not the exact same irrigation line that we have up on the porch. Again, our porch ceilings are white. This is a brown tube, but it's the exact same tubing that we have, but it's just a different color. So whatever color your house is, obviously you're gonna want to choose, maybe you want a darker one, maybe you want a lighter one. You can even paint this so that it truly just kind of blends in to your house. So you're gonna run this along the inside of your porch so that it basically disappears. I was even talking to a customer this weekend, and so she ran hers through her gutter, like inside her gutter, because that made sense at her house, and so that's how it disappeared. And then she was able to get the drip tubing to go through into her, she had hayracks. Again, it's completely customizable, so do what makes sense at your house. So we're using, again, a 1/2 inch tubing. And then what's so great is this is a little, basically it's a hole punch, right? So it's this little handy dandy tool that we have used, gosh, the same one for years. So when you are moving it, let's see if we can show you that, right? It's a punch. So basically it's like a hole punch for the tubing. So what you'll do is you'll take your tubing that you want the hole, turn it this way so it makes sense, okay? And it goes down, see? It's down there into the lip, and then you just squeeze. And when you squeeze and you come out, you have the little dibble. So you have your hole that you're then you're able to take your emitter. So the emitter is what allows the water to come out, and they have different flow rates. So this one that we have is a 1/2 gallon per hour, 1/2 inch, 1/2 gallon. So of course it has the little pokey end. So we take that little pokey end, it's a very technical term there, you know, and you really gotta, so then you just take it and you push it in really nicely. So there we go, okay? So you have your emitter in your pipe. Now, this little white tubing, again, it's a hollow tubing. This is what your water is gonna flow down to. Great thing again, how long are your hanging baskets? So you can just cut this to length, and then here at the very end, this is not necessarily, the water does come through here, but it's not at the tip, it is actually at the top. This is a weight. So if you happen to have some late summer night winds like we're having right now, this is what holds the irrigation line into your hanging basket so it just doesn't flow out of there. And then at the end of your line, it's really simple. All you have to do in order to stop the water flow is just bend that pipe back, and you can get couplings that will fit on there, or if you want to do it like what I did down there, you can get some like electrical tape and just tape it closed. This will keep the water from obviously shooting out on your porch, and then all the water goes out through the drippers of your hanging basket. And then all you have to do is just tuck that dripper into your hanging basket. And we've only had just a couple of instances when we've had those big summer thunderstorms where the baskets are moving. They sometimes will get moved and sometimes come out, but for the most part they stay exactly where they are supposed to be. Far as how much do I water mine, in the beginning of the season I will water them maybe once a day, maybe every couple of days, but remember, we get a lot of shade here, and then we get afternoon sun. So again, you're gonna have to kind of be a student of your garden to figure out how often you will need to be watering your containers. Right now that we are coming into August, I am watering these twice a day. Once in the early morning, and then again in the late afternoon. Because remember, as the season progresses, your plants get bigger, you have more roots, less available soil that can hold on to that moisture, and of course our temperatures are a lot higher. So you're probably going to need to water more frequently as the season progresses. But again, this is really easy to do. You just, once you get an idea of exactly where you want this tubing to go, you can then just put your drippers in there, your emitters in there, to your hanging baskets or your hay racks, whatever the case may be. Now, the way that Jerry attached this to the side of our porch was simply with just some little metal brackets that he then screwed into the porch so that it holds it up there. And then you might be saying, well, Jenny, I don't want in the wintertime, to have, 4 drippers hanging down when there's no hanging baskets there, because obviously our hanging baskets are our spring, summer, fall interest. And then in the winter time, of course, they're gone. So what I have done is I will take them and I will bring this up. So imagine that my 1/2-inch tubing goes further. So I'll bring my drippers up and then just kind of tuck it like this. So that way they're not hanging down during the winter. And again, they completely disappear. If you wanted to, I suppose, you could actually just kind of disconnect the irrigation, the little small tubing from the emitter, store them for the winter, and then come spring you can always pop them back in there, and there you go. So I hope that you have found this little tutorial helpful. Again, all of the information will be linked down below with some websites and some different places that you can purchase these for your own home. Again, work smarter, not harder. That's how you can have a great garden without killing yourself, which none of us want to do. As always, thank you so much for gardening with Creekside. Y'all have a fantastic day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.